And of course, the last question left after all is said and done: who is A? Who is A, guys? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a PLL recap. It has been so long since we've done a legit one because I've done a legit one because PLL has been on hiatus. So this was the How the A Stole Christmas episode, aka the Christmas special. And a lot of things happened. I don't know, what do you guys think of how Mona came back in Allie's mind? Like, is Allie crazy? Is Allie hallucinating? Like, what's going on there? Is this like a supernatural element or what? I thought it was a little weird. But some things were revealed, so let's start from the beginning. So it opens up. How does it open up? Oh, with the girls, the four liars walking through Rosewood, and then they get stopped by Mona's lawyer, who was told to wait 30 days after Mona's demise to give Hannah this little map to Allie's house. Something about that doesn't sit right with me. I personally don't feel like that was legit either. Like, for me, okay, so Mona thought she was really going to die, like legit die. In the flashback in the beginning of the episode when they said last time in PLL or this season, whatever the heck they said, Mona said, if Allie knew that she was siding with the girls, if Allie knew that she was siding with the girls, she could be in trouble, or she might get killed or something like that. Now, who was Mona siding with then? If she wasn't siding with the girls, who was she siding with? Herself? Was she siding with Allie? Was she siding with someone else? Like, what was going on there? I still feel like there's a missing element, like there's a missing A element that we still don't know about, because for Mona to say if Allie knew that she was siding with the girls, she could get in trouble for this. Like, you and Allie are not on the same side and haven't been for a very long time because you were A. So why would Allie care if you were siding with the girls? Like, on her behalf, not if the girls were siding with Mona, but if she was siding with the girls. You understand what I'm saying, guys? If you get what I'm saying, just comment down below. Let me know. Anyway, so Mona knew she was gonna die. Like, Mona knew that someone was out to literally kill her. Like, to me, that seems very extreme. Like, I personally don't feel like, up to this point, that I actually thought someone was gonna get killed by A, because A has been playing games with people's lives, but not, like, with their actual life. Like, people have killed people off. Like, CeCe killed Wilden. Well, somebody killed Garrett, and Ian. Who killed Ian? Allie killed Ian. And then, you know, people have died, but, you know, I didn't expect Mona to die. So for Mona to expect Mona to die, I feel like that's a little weird. So she retained a lawyer and then wait 30 days after her death to search Allie's house. Like, that just seems stupid to me, and it seems strange. Either Mona is still playing these girls after her death, or somebody else did this. That's how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel. You let me know. Oh, and I also find it weird that of all people, Mona is going to give this to Hannah. I know Mona and Hannah were best friends at a point, but I feel like so much has happened that they haven't really trusted each other in a long time. So for Mona to choose Hannah to give this important information to also seems weird to me. Mona and Lucas have been tighter for a longer period of time, I feel like, even though Mona was making fun of Lucas at first. They were together doing all their little high-tech stuff behind the scenes when they were stalking people's lives and being A, you know? So I don't understand why Mona would give it to Hannah unless there's like a bigger clause to all of this. Like, sure, she did find out that Allie knew Bethany beforehand, but was that really Mona who did that, or was that somebody else? That's all I want to know. Then the next scene that I remember is Alison having the dream with weird, scary ghosts of Christmas past Mona, and remembering her childhood when her mom, now we know her mom is the person who taught her how to lie, and her mom is the one who started the monster, as she said. Like, the monster was born of Alison the liar, Alison the perpetual, habitual liar. And I feel like it was for a really weird reason. Like, so what I want to know is, why was Mrs. D what is this whole thing? Like, she was hiding a dress for another girl, a yellow dress too at that, and you know, the yellow dress is what Allie and Bethany were wearing the Labor Day weekend that Bethany was apparently killed. So what's that about? Is Bethany Mrs. D's daughter? And if so, how was she hiding that? Because what, you had twins when you really had when your husband thought you had one child? Like, how? Like, I don't get it. You had to hide it from your husband, and she told Allie, oh, Daddy would leave us if he found out that there was another dress. So, like, what the hell was Mrs. D up to? Like, sorry, like, what was she up to? Like, what is this about? Because I'm like, what? You're instilling fear in your child and making her lie for you. So why would you hide both dresses in the piano? Why would you do that? Why not buy it and put it somewhere else at some other point, you know? I feel like my hands are ashy, guys. If you saw that, don't mind. So, yeah. Why? Okay. Oh, I asked, was Miss D mental? She told Allie that her dad would leave. So, like, was there always something wrong with Miss D up there? Like, what was really going on there? Because something just doesn't seem right. Then I asked, was Toby always into photography? Do you guys remember? Because I find it a little weird that all of a sudden he has to be the watch with this camera that he's been playing around with. But it's like, was he into photography beforehand? I don't remember, though, because I don't really pay attention to Toby, but whatever. Well, Hannah used one of my favorite quotes. She said, when people show you who they are, believe them. She said that Mona always said that. I don't remember that, but whatever. And this is something significant to life and to PLL, because Mona showed Hannah who she was, yet Hannah's sitting here talking about, oh, you know, I don't believe that people actually change. I think that like they suppress who they are or something like that. They get good at hiding it. So that tells me that then maybe Mona is still the person that she showed herself to be, the conniving, crazy psychopath that she showed herself to be. Not the friend that she tried to show herself to be in the beginning, but the person she became, or the person she ended up showing once, you know, things were not going her way. You understand what I'm saying? So I personally feel like they made Hannah say that because Hannah was dumb again in this episode, like really dumb, like the whole jester thing and all that. So maybe they made Hannah say that because it's something for us to see. I don't know if I'm just reading too much into that, because that's one of my favorite quotes. Because it's true, and then it's like, well, what's her face? Mona showed herself, who showed you guys who she really is, but you guys want to believe that she's good Mona now just because she died. But why did she die, really, is my question. And they still don't have the body. That's so weird. Who has the body? Where is the body now? So next I wrote, Jenna's blind again. What is it with Jenna? One time she can see, one time she's blind, next time she can see, one time she's blind. And Sydney's there. All these people are here. They were all singing together. Emily, Lucas, Sydney, and Jenna singing right next to each other in the choir Christmas songs. I found that really weird. And, oh, a good question, guys. How does Ezra all of a sudden have Fitzgerald money again? Remember, he was disowned from his mother? Like, disowned. Like, he did not have Fitzgerald money. He claimed the reason why that he was doing, why he was still in Rosewood was because the teaching job is the money he needed to survive, quote unquote. That's why he was there back when Arya and him were fighting and she didn't want anything to do with him. She's like, why are you still here in Rosewood? He's like, oh, this job, he needs this job to survive. But that was clearly BS, because you always had this Fitzgerald money, but now he's showing that he has Fitzgerald money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. I still don't trust Ezra. And I'm just going to go forward, like fast forward towards the end when, maybe the middle, when Hannah brought Spencer the fake passport that Allie had of Holly Varjak. It's funny, I just recently watched Breakfast at Tiffany's, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I know this reference. I never read the book though. And Holly Varjak. So in the movie, his name was Paul, I believe. Paul Varjak was the guy that fell in love with what's her face, Holly Golightly. And Ezra said that. And now I'm getting this reference. Ezra said that Alison is his Holly Golightly. Holly Golightly she had serious issues, but like, Paul Blart was so infatuated with her that he wanted to be with her no matter what. Even when he found out that she did have a family, she left her husband because she got married at like 14 years old. Her husband was older. She left her husband and his kids to move to New York to like start a life by herself. She was an informant for the mob, pretty much. Like, she just had a whole bunch of crazy things going on. So you're saying that Ezra was saying that Allie was his Holly-Golightly, and then Spencer just writes it off as, this is Alison making her happy ending. But you don't see that? You don't see that connection? If Ezra said that Alison is his Holly-Golightly, that means that he's still infatuated with her. Like, reasons why I said I do not trust Ezra, guys. I do not trust him. I do not trust him. Okay, moving on. And in the book, though, Paul Blart, I know he was gay, so he wasn't in love with Holly Golightly, but the story was still about her, and he still wrote a whole story about his friend Holly Golightly. So, I don't know. Take it how you want to take it, guys. The creepy twins and their makeover. They look so good, though. I was like, oh, check you guys out. But that was really creepy. Whatever. I said I still can't trust Lucas. I found it weird. Like, he's Santa of all people. He's not even somebody who would do something like that if we're thinking of old Lucas. So for him to be the Santa, I don't know. Something doesn't sit well with me and Lucas. I still feel like, why is he in this so deep, you know? Like, what does he have up his sleeve? And then I saw Mask again, like the creepy twins were wearing masks, and some people at the ball or whatever that thing was were wearing masks. I was like, okay. And why does Allie have to have 4 girls behind her when she's making her grand entrance? Okay. Hannah and Spencer, you're going to break into somebody's house to look for clues or whatever you needed to find, right? When they got there, they were so, why are we whispering? Da da da. Get in and get out. Like, you do not know when Allison's gonna come home. Where's Allison's dad in all this? Like, all of a sudden he disappeared again, so Allie's just living by herself as a teenager. Like, okay, whatever. But I just found it very interesting that they were like taking their time, and it's like, you guys are breaking into her house to find something, so go find what you were looking for and get the hell out. Just saying. Holbrook. Now, if you guys go back into my recaps, you will see that I said that Holbrook is one fishy cop from the jump. Sam was saying, Sam here on YouTube, he was saying maybe he was the beach hottie that Alison was always talking about, and I'll believe that, because Alison, she just finds these grown men to be falling in love with her all the time. She was making out with Santa, and he was wearing the Santa suit. I'm not surprised if that was him or somebody else, because between Wilden, Ezra, and him, she just keeps finding grown men to fall in love with her. Now, the way that Holbrook approached Arya and was like, tell Ezra he has good taste, I feel like maybe him and Ezra know each other or knew each other back then. Maybe something like that happened, because maybe it's a little bit of a competition for them in regards to Alison, because if Allie was Ezra's Holly Golightly, then that's like his property, that's his obsession, that's his muse. So what's that about, you know? Like, and I know Holbrook, I've been knew that Holbrook was up to fishy business. Like, we all knew that. He's just sus, because he was doing things without Detective Tanner, and he had no problem pretty much breaking the law, talking to a minor on her own, and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden he's at her event, like, he can't believe Arya. No one can believe you. Who cares who you can believe, you know? CeCe appears. I was wondering who was in that little hooded thing, and it was CeCe. Now, I could have sworn CeCe was supposed to leave the country for good. Yes, Alison's mom died, but you killed Detective Wilden, and you're coming back into the town that you murdered a cop in, and nothing happens to you. Nobody sees you. A cop is at that ball thing, and nobody sees you. Very interesting. And now, Emily had like a little revelation that, maybe Holbrook helped Alison help CeCe escape. And that makes a lot of sense because Holbrook is out of town. He's not from Rosewood. That's what Arya was telling him, like, oh, I didn't know that this was your town. Sounds like it's somebody who's fallen in love with a girl. Like, he was like, oh, it's growing on me or whatever. The town, Rosewood. And why would Rosewood grow on you unless you have some issues? Because Rosewood has a lot of issues, you know? Oh, the way that Emily and Ara were keeping watch on Alison was terrible. You are not low. You're standing there by yourself, like, you know how Shay Mitchell does his stares. Like, she looked really nice, but it's like you're standing by yourself in the middle of this ball, just staring down, like you're being a creep, and you're seen by whoever's watching you. The whole Alison's team, whoever's watching you, Alison's army, they can see you. Now all of a sudden, Sydney and Jenna are on Alison's team. Jenna's excuse. And I was watching the Halloween episodes, guys. Remember in my last video, I'll link it down below, I was saying I rewatched the Halloween episodes, and the first Halloween episode is when we get to see when Jenna and Alison meet for the first time, which was around Halloween. They both were going to be Lady Gaga, and that's what caused the conflict, because Jenna wanted to be her own person, even though Allie was like, oh, if you're friends with me, you know, I can show you the ropes, blah blah blah. She didn't want to be friends with her. Now Jenna is saying in this episode that oh, Alison asked me to be friends, and I said no, but now I'm saying yes this time, because that's a good decision to make or whatever. The person who was super anti-Alison, that was creeping out the girls because of Alison, all of a sudden is on Alison's army, along with Sydney, who still has nothing to do with nothing to me, unless she's A or something, and that's who they're gonna make A, because that makes absolutely no sense to me. The whole thing, Jenna's whole existence is anti-Alison, or was anti-Alison. Now you're on Alison's team. Oh, don't worry. Sydney's like, oh, don't worry, we're not really on her side or whatever crap. But they don't trust the girls. They're gonna be on Alison's side because it's safe. So what is the missing link? Once again, who is the missing link in all of this? Who is A? If it's not Alison, and it's not the girls, and it's not Jenna, and it's not Sydney, and it's not Lucas, and it's not Ezra, and it's not Toby, who is A, guys? Why is everyone... Oh, I was saying, why is everyone acting like this is a mom movie? Like, who said it? The way that Jenna was describing that, oh, she has to be on Alison's side because it's safe. Like, I'm thinking of a mom movie, like, you can't be a part of this family because you'll get killed, so you have to join this family's side. You know what I mean? Like, what is this? You guys are in high school. Who is A already? That's all I want to know. And it's only season 5, so we're not going to find out yet. But that's still the underlying question forever and a day. Who is A? Yeah, do these girls not remember that Alison had to hide for 2 years and did so very successfully in and out of Rosewood and wherever else she went? And yet they think that they could just follow her or keep an eye on her and they're going to know where she is. So when that whole thing happened where it was supposed to be Allie and CeCe and Emily and Arya were following her, and then Paige and Lucas tried to catch up from behind, and it was just the creepy twins, it was like, are you guys surprised? I'm not surprised. Like, Alison was in and out of Rosewood for 2 years without being found by the cops, by her friends, by anybody. So you really think you're just gonna keep a tail on her and find her in one night? No, you're not. Sorry. I wish that these girls would get smarter and learn from their mistakes, but instead I feel like it's the same stupid game over and over and over again. Oh, we're gonna go search her house. You should really search her house when you know she's not going to be there. And who was there with a knife ready to stab somebody but didn't stab Hannah? They just knocked her out. I'm confused. Why'd you have the knife then? Well, like, what was that about? And my whole thing, though, is if Alison is innocent as they're trying to paint her to be again, why doesn't she just sit down with the girls and hash it out? Like, legit, and tell the truth, because she was lying about things still when she told the girls the truth. So does she not know the truth? Does she believe her own lies the way that her mom was coaching her to believe her own lies? Or is she just really A, or is she not A, or what is it? Like, what is it already? I feel like if I'm innocent and I want you guys to be my friends, you're my best friends, I believe in you, I know that you guys were not the ones who set me up, why am I not trying harder to convince you that I am innocent. Like, why wouldn't you try harder, Alison? What is the missing link once again? What is the missing link? What's really going on here? Because I don't feel like Alison has told them the whole truth. I just don't feel like it. And she hasn't, because there's little things like she paid the guy off. She wanted to make herself look innocent and all that. Why did you have to go through all of that if you're actually innocent? What hand does she have in all of this? And the fact that she did lure Bethany to Rosewood Labor Day weekend. She was pen pals with Bethany now. That's how she lured her to Rosewood. So why'd you do it? And then why did she end up dead? Was someone really just trying to kill you? Were you trying to kill her? Was it all about you? Like, what is it? Oh, I said, if Mona had a map of Allie's house, why didn't she go in and get that crap before? Like, why didn't she go in and get the proof before? She had the proof she had at her house, but then you knew that there was more proof, so why didn't you give the girls a map before something or the other? Like, you didn't even do that yourself, so it took you instead of going to Alison's house, you broke into, what's that place called again? What's that hospital? Oh, gosh. Radley. You broke into Radley to get the tapes of Bethany talking and stuff versus you getting proof in Alison's house. What's that about? Okay. So, what's her name? Hannah leaving her cell phone. Really, Hannah? Really? That whole thing caused Hannah to be knocked out, and it was just scary. I didn't think Hannah was going to get stabbed. That would just be a little bit too bleak, I guess. But leaving your cell phone on the couch when you're going up in the attic, like, that's a good idea. I don't know what to say anymore. Are they getting rid of Paige for good, guys? Are they? I hope they do. Like I said, like, you guys have watched my videos in the past. No, I don't like Paige. I don't like Paige, I don't like Ezra, I don't like Toby. I love Caleb. That's about it. So, like, all the significant others could kick rocks besides Caleb. Oh, what I don't really like about this episode is how much Hannah is, like, so, like, oh, Mona, my friend, Mona, my friend. There was a point where, Hannah, like, because she was still, like, fending for Mona, like, she wanted to believe that Mona was good and Mona wasn't totally evil and stuff. She wanted to believe that. But then there was a point where she was just like, forget you, Mona, goodbye. And then now you're back to, oh, Mona, my friend. Oh, this all happened because of Mona. Mona, Mona, Mona. But it's like, if that was the case, then why was Mona so shady? Like, there were so many things that Mona hid from them. All her, like, intelligence stuff that she was doing, all her surveillance, getting the cops texts and stuff like that. Why didn't she give that to the girls earlier if she really cared about who was A or whatever the case may be? She was A for so long, and it's like somebody else takes over, and you still don't go to the girls to help the girls out when the girls are the ones being affected by A. To me, that shows that Mona is not a good person, was not a good person, because she's dead. Even though I feel like they're going to bring Mona, I don't know, they're going to have like a memorial service for her the next episode or something like that, but, because they don't have the body, but I don't know, something about Mona, this still doesn't sit well with me. Like, at first I was sad, I was like, Mona died, they killed Mona of all people, but then I thought back to what kind of person she was, what kind of person she showed herself to be all the time, and it was like, you know what, maybe it's not such a bad thing that Mona died, but I still want to know who killed her, I still want to know why, and I still want to know why she thought she was going to die. Like, that's just weird to me. And of course, the last question left after all is said and done, who is A? Who is A, guys? Like, that wasn't even remotely hinted at this episode. I don't feel like. If you saw a hint to who A is in this episode, please let me know. I did watch the winter promo, and it looks really good. Grunwald is back all of a sudden, and so much is happening. It looks like Allie is almost in like a jail cell when she's talking and saying, oh, I forgot what she said. Oh, they're next or something like that. Like, I guess A is coming after them. So A is not Allie. Allie's going to be locked away. So who is A? Again. And Grunwald is there. Arya looks like she's going to be attacked. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Ezra. That's just me. But I don't know. And it was like 30 seconds, so you didn't get to see too much, but it looks good, of course. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. If you guys have any comments, if you guys notice anything that I didn't notice in this episode, definitely comment down below. Let me know. I love reading theories. I love hearing different viewpoints on what you guys think is going to happen next, or who do you think is who do you think A is, why do you think whoever did whatever. So definitely leave your comments down below, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.